missile, but you can kind of just jump over it over one of those force field-ish walls and then fire and then snipe it with the missile.
Yeah.
Which is what Miles did.
He has plasming, so he could do it as intended. It's just it's slower. Yeah.
Unless you miss it once or twice or.
The first time you come through here, you don't have plasma yet, so you're not supposed to be able to get it. Just when the artifacts in Phendrana's Drift are kind of out of the way. He's gonna make a second visit.
Okay, yeah, this room is tricky because I have to scan 3 things to get the thermal visor. Hopefully that's far enough. Got it. Okay.
Nice. All right. So basically, getting thermal visor costs almost no time in game because even though there's cutscenes,
Well, it costs like 6 seconds.
but you don't want to waste those because thermal visor can be skipped. But you really want thermal visor for Metroid Prime because you don't want to fight Metroid Prime's final form blind.
Yeah,
That's not a good idea.
it is a really horrible idea.
And it just helps in a few rooms here and there as well.
Okay.
On the other hand, sorry.
Coming up is the Thardus dash, where I do a dash on Thardus to skip him. It is probably the most stressful part of the run, so I will definitely need to concentrate there. Basically, I'm going to dash over the trigger to start the fight, so if I mess it up, I'm going to start the fight, and that costs a lot of time. So I have to not do that.
You're not getting that energy tank?
I already got it.
Got it.
Yeah, usually I get that energy tank then, but I got it earlier because I was low on health.
Thardus was one of the most fun bosses in development. He's just really one of the coolest fights in the game, and I really enjoyed testing him and playing against him.
Oh.
Or not.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, so originally I didn't actually skip Thardus in 80% runs. So no one had really fought Thardus in 80% before, so I had to come up with this strat basically entirely by myself. So it's nice to be able to fight him quickly-ish.
This is honestly a very, very good strategy.
Like, most people just laid bombs, which is really slow compared to this.
Sniping out the shots while he's rolling around though is really tricky.
This is a lot harder than it looks on this one. He has to make sure every shot hits, and he has to snipe it well. Snipe his weak point.
Yeah,
while he's
like
rolling.
that. That's really difficult. So just
Completely blind.
no. Thardus, why?
Also, if you're wondering why he's taking so much damage, it's because you're not supposed to have plasma beam at this fight.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, you're not supposed to have ice beam either, but ice beam does no damage at all with Thardus.
Well, it makes sense. He's in the ice area.
Yeah. If you had a power bomb, then a power bomb would be the best way to finish off the final rock.
Oops. So that was an okay fight. It would have gone a lot better if I did get a power bomb, but unfortunately I didn't. Now, having the spider will save time later in the run. I don't have to do a really annoying trick in Metroid Quarantine A, and also there's some tricks to climb up spider shafts that I no longer have to do, which are really difficult and can go horribly wrong.
So yeah, while that did waste some amount of time, it makes a lot of later parts of the run a lot less stressful.
Yeah, it does save some time later.
So while we're waiting for the next section, I want to mention something about one of the people I worked with on Metroid. One of the programmers who's responsible for a lot of the player controls and the camera systems was a wonderful fellow, Mark Hay Hutchinson. Shortly after Metroid Prime 3 shipped, he was taken away from us from cancer. And I think it's absolutely wonderful that you guys are doing this in support of cancer. And, since it does take away a lot of our friends and people that we worked with on amazing games like this. So thank you again.
Yeah, we've got an unbelievable amount of donations with stories just like that, very heartfelt. Obviously, many of you out there have, in some way, you, a family member, a friend, has been touched in some way by this horrible thing. And we want to thank all of you for all of your donations. Raised almost $620,000 so far in, a little under 6 days, and that's amazing. Thank you all.
It's ridiculously high.
I also want to inform you guys, you're meeting our ridiculously high, we thought were ridiculously high donation incentives and goals so quickly. We keep making up new ones. So tomorrow we'll be playing Paper Mario, and I guess there's a skip at the end. I'm sort of describing myself. There's a skip at the end where Luigi, Mario's brother, does not get to come to the party. However, for the Luigi fans out there, for $5,000, Luigi will be coming to that party.
One of those visors works. And with that, Pendrana's finished.
Yeah. Not going back there again. Unfortunately for everyone who loves Pendrana.
Has good music.
I've got a $50 donation from Alexander Stockholm. Metroid games have been my life. Love seeing them run at these events. Save the animals. I hear they can cure cancer. Shoutouts to the 502 crew and Smug Pac-Man.
Right, so what you're supposed to do here is to basically activate a boost ball slot to raise a bridge, but you can just skip that by doing a dash jump here. And now Miles is going to get the artifact here and then use a power bomb, which has conveniently enough has another power bomb expansion, but it's also kind of a shortcut to the next destination. And he's going to get Ice Spreader.
Yeah, it's actually a tiny bit slower to go through here, but I want the extra power bomb because it's like that power bomb is worth wasting a second out of the way.
The primary spot that Ice Spreader saves time on is on Metroid Prime. Ideally, Ice Spreader, in an ideal fight, Ice Spreader actually loses time, but it makes the fight a lot easier and more consistent.
Yeah.
So, and for people wondering why you didn't get Super Missiles would be really useful,
Yes,
but it's very out of the way.
Yeah, you don't even enter the observatory, so you don't go anywhere near them.
Whereas Ice Spreader is like pretty much on the way here. It costs almost no time.
And I wanted to point out that if he's bunny hopping along the ground, that maintains most of the momentum that he has from his scan dash.
Yeah, so I can move really fast at that range. Unfortunately, there's not really many places you can use that in the run.
Because of the winding passages.
Yeah, and also the fact that you can't turn while doing it.
So the loading corridors between the levels, the reason it's broken up is each world has a finite size because of the way floating point works in computers. So we can't make it all one continuous world. So the elevators break it up into sections, and also the audio systems have to be broken up into sections based on which section of the world you're in.
Right, so Miles is going to be making a bit of a detour to Chozo Ruins right here because he needs to get the artifact of Lightkeeper, I think. In Tower of Light. He's going to go to Chozo Ruins, get it, and then come back out the same way. Which is kind of like the only annoying detour part of this route, because everything else kind of flows pretty well. Besides Newborn, but you can't do much about that.
Yeah.
Is this an okay time that I read a little bit longer donation, or is there a better time later on?
It's fine.
It's fine.
All right. I have a $926.92 donation. To be more accurate, PCF has that donation. I do not, but from Miss Neuro Fish Fox. I want to thank everyone who has helped make AGDQ 2014 a success. The runners, people behind the scenes, commentators, mods, viewers, donors, and everyone else involved. The donations made by people can really make a difference, and anyone who cannot donate, just by tuning in and spreading the word about AGDQ, you are helping. The more people that learn about the event, the more this can grow. The more it grows, the more we can raise for cancer prevention. And the more we can raise for cancer prevention, the more we can all help prevent from having to suffer from cancer, whether in their own lives or the lives of their loved ones. You've probably heard the tales from people throughout this event, the emotional and physical suffering it causes. Just taking a few minutes yourself to donate or tell your friends and family can make a real step toward preventing this suffering in others. Also, bid suggestion info, bid towards Chrono Trigger Luca named Neuro, because I have a huge ego. Thank you very much.
Okay, so if you're listening to the Curry Master right there clapping, I just pulled out the most important trick in the entire run, getting that into that morph ball hole.
By the way, he's kind of sarcastic. It's just something that looks cool.
No, it's the most important trick in the world.
If you missed it, would you resend in a marathon?
Alright.
Second is scanning the items.
It makes up for missing Thardus Dash, of course.
Yes.
All right, so if you're wondering why he was able to get life giver like that without gravity suit, he did a ghetto jump. And to note, ghetto jumps underwater without gravity suit, you get a ridiculous amount of height from it. Like, if you notice, he was able to make it with, almost able to make it with just one jump. So,
Yeah, so no need for gravity suit.
like, the main spots you need gravity suit is for that one artifact and then going to the Crash Frigate. But you never go to the Crash Frigate, as you'll see why.
Spoilers.
I just realized I didn't say it when I first got to the ship. So, good thing I did not need it.
All right, so this room he's gonna go to with there's an elevator by this room from Chosen Ruins. It's pretty much supposed to be one way. There's no way to
Just
get-
watch this.
Just watch this. Very nice.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to go to this elevator. You're supposed to come out of it. And this allows for a really quick route to be able to get the artifact you're supposed to get soon. Oh, wait, do you get it after Phazon Mines?
Yeah, I get it later, but still, it's a really quick route to get to Phazon Mines.
Got a $25 donation from Curtis Mackey. Question for the developer. What was your team's reaction when you heard that you were going to work on a new Metroid game, if you don't mind answering? I'm sure many of you were fans of the older games.
I won't talk too much about it, I mean, because it was an entire group effort. I'll say for my personal thing, I thought it was amazing. Retro was a new studio, and we were working together on some of the different games and everything, and, the idea of doing a Metroid game came by, and, I'm just like, wow, that's going to be an incredibly amazing thing to work on. And, we realized just how important this game was, so we really put our best effort into it.
Okay, coming up is probably everyone's least favorite room in the game of Life Grove Tunnel, because it's a half-pipe room, and it's so hard to get up it because it just randomly stops your momentum. So, let's see how it goes this time.
There we go.
There you go.
Now, I'd still have to go through Life Grove Tunnel another time. So, I got the one frame morph. Yes, there's one frame where you can morph after getting an item like that. So that saves a little bit of time. That looks really cool.
if you're wondering whether X visor is skippable or not, it's not skippable. For the only reason you can't skip it is because you can't damage Omega Pirate without X-ray visor, and you need Phazon suit to beat the game.
Yeah, admittedly, it wouldn't be useful to skip it in this run anyway because it's useful on the final boss to be able to see it.
Yeah, in this game, when enemies or bosses are invisible, you can't interact with them. You can't damage them.
Well,
but
that's
platforms
only Omega Pirate.
and Prime.
No, you can damage
damage
Prime.
Prime.
It's just
Okay.
you can't lock on, so that makes it really.
Yeah, it's just the way the Beta Pirate
That
was
jump was
coded.
also not
He's
intentional.
keyed
He
to
did
the
an R
visors.
jump to
His
get out
vulnerability
that
is
way.
keyed to the visor that you're using.
Yeah. I do use the throw visor layer just to make dark rooms easier to see.
Alright, and this is one of the more difficult bomb jumps.
Can't
in
really
the game.
lock up there.
Nice.
Yeah, first try. First try.
It looks like he did a really easy double bomb jump. That bomb jump is much harder than it looks. Like, ridiculously hard.
Like 20, 30 tries hard.
Yes, and coming up soon is power bombs, and to get power bombs, you have to go through a randomly generated maze.
Ah, the infamous maze.
Yes.
This maze is entirely my fault
Yes.
because the reason is when we were designing the room, we wanted to give something that made the power bomb, made it a challenge to get the power bomb, and we didn't want to do another boss. We didn't have the resources and stuff like that. So the idea of a small maze came in through. And actually, when I was a young teenager, one of the first little games I wrote was actually a maze game that uses randomly generated mazes. So to me, it was like bring one of these little pieces of my childhood into the game and actually generate the maze when you enter the room, and then so it's different every time. It's a little bit of a speedrunner nightmare because it is different every time.
Well,
But
actually, while it is difficult because of the length, I've actually created a little program to figure out which maze I got.
That's why I'm using a laptop right now, because I'm getting Miles' program ready.
how many mazes did you guys track?
300. There are 300 mazes in the game.
Interesting. That sounds about right from the algorithm that was generated.
Yeah, I went and manually drew all 300 of them.
That is an impressive amount of work.
So once we get to the power bomb maze, Miles is going to. I'm going to get this ready.
Yeah.
Miles is going to type in the inputs for the maze, and we're going to show it off to the camera.
Yes. Hopefully, I will not screw the inputs up.
So I'll get this ready for him.
Oh yeah. Also, I'm jumping on the sleep pirate.
He didn't notice you were on top of it.
That's all he's good for.
Oh. Oh yeah. There's
yeah.
enemy here.
So this guy doesn't normally attack you the first time you come through here, but he shows up when you get X-ray. Right?
It's plasma.
Oh, it's plasma? Okay, yeah. So the idea is when you come through here the second time the guy wakes up.
Okay, here we go.
That was supposed to be an invisible drone, by the way.
Yes.
So how he's doing this is that.
hold on.
Okay.
It's top left. Just click on it. Yes! I win. I guess 37 squares. It is 37 squares.
And everyone else was wrong.
I think you cheated somehow.
Oh, crap. I need that back. I need that back. Yeah.
I've got
How
a
fast? How do you figure out which maze it is quickly?
I input like the data for 3 squares, like which sides don't have electricity, and then it'll bring up every maze that matches that combination for those 3 squares. I was unlucky there and actually brought up 3 mazes. There was about an 80% chance it'll only bring up 1, and a 2% chance it'll bring up 3 or more. So
I typed in the maze results into the Quake chat. Essentially, the higher the percentage, the worse the maze is. Essentially. And the possible lengths of the maze is any odd number between 15 through 55, excluding the number 53. Obviously, the lower the number is, the better. And 37 is pretty average, I guess.
yeah.
Not fantastic, not bad.
Yeah, they're all supposed to take a while to get through, but the water puddles throughout the maze can create unintentional shortcuts, which...
Yeah, that was coded that way. The algorithm was coded so that the maze always took a certain minimum length, even with the water pools. That's how the algorithm was generated.
Well, it can get down to like 15 squares sometimes. So.
So you're supposed to have grapple beam for these rooms, but screw that. He's just gonna dash through.
I've got a $300 donation from Jaxis. Jaxis again. I know I've given a lot to this run, but I have to give more. I just found out my good friend Alan was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. It's personal now. So please, everyone, keep donating what you can. P.S. Alan loves animals, so I find it appropriate to save the animals in Super Metroid.
I should probably not have boosted through the cycles. Oh, ooh. Okay, time for really stupid stuff.
Oh my god.
There's that geometry again.
So, save. I will be taking...
He's supposed to dash off the plasma trooper to reach the other side. But it's a very difficult dash.
No, you're not.
What's a grapple beam?
Okay, now for Omega Pirates. At the beginning, when you skip the cutscene and you're at the side, you can stop him from seeing you, and you'll see what happens when that happens. Whoops, a bit too early. See, now he's just standing there. I can really shoot him.
Now, with both Omega Pirate and Elite Pirates, as long as you don't lock gazes on them, you can just kind of slowly walk around and they'll just turn like an idiot, trying to look at
Actually,
you.
it doesn't matter for Omega Pirate because...
Well, with your strategy, it doesn't matter, yeah. But you'll see Miles abuse that on the Elite Pirate and the phase on Elite Pirate.
Okay, that power bomb right there did no damage at all. It just made him disappear 4 seconds faster.
If you time it perfectly, these troopers will not appear either. But luckily, they're plasma troopers, so they die really quickly.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't cost time to have the troopers appear. It just makes things easier. Also, that power bomb made him not invisible. So. Okay, I need to listen here. Okay.
So how that fight works is that Omega Pirate will always spawn in the pool farthest away from you. At the same time, he will never appear in the same pool twice. So at the first round, Miles stood between 2 pools, so he will appear from the 3rd pool away. And then after that, he stood by one of the 2 pools he didn't appear. So there's only one option that the Omega Pirate will appear in.
By the way, I have diving suit now. And now it's gone. My poor gravity suit.
Yeah, the cutscene's a little confused, but he does indeed have not the gravity suit.
I've got a $655.36 donation from Charles McCann. It's a delight to hear Zoid discussing the finer points of the game's design. Retro really got everything right in this game. The money this marathon is raising would be enough to fund a complete research lab for years. So from this biochemist, thank you all. Save the animals. For Zoid.
Zoid, you make the right choice.
Hey,
Alright, so there's actually a... Sorry?
go ahead.
So there's actually a way to get this artifact without phase-on suits, but it's not viable at all at any percent. You need at least, I think, a minimum of 12 energy tanks to get this. 11, okay.
Well, it's 11 unless you want to backcheck for help, which takes forever. So you do not want to do that.
So in an ideal 100% run, you would actually get this artifact early, because you have, I think, 13 energy tanks coming in here, so you would have enough to get this without this annoying detour. But at any percent, you can't do much about that, unless you want to get 11 energy tanks, which is probably not a good idea.
I've got a $100 donation from Kaznode. You get 4 of the best Super Metroid runners of all time doing a speed run in the same room, and you want them to go slower? Heresy. Kill the animals.
Well, I would also like to point out that please put your money towards ignore and not taunt, because taunt will also cost time.
If you're going to kill them, you should taunt them.
They're just being cool.
We don't support cruelty to the animals.
You could at least go with she doesn't know they're there if you ignore them. So.
And just to give you guys another update on that bidding war, it's been going back and forth. Right now, Killing has $25,676. Saving has $26,754.
Oh my god.
So about 1080 about. Quick math.
Okay, I've missed that turret, so that could have been bad. And
Okay. That was the clutchest powerbomb I've ever seen.
So,
yeah, since I didn't fight the elite pirate, it's still there, and so I have to jump like that to get over the trigger to avoid fighting it again. And if you trigger to fight, the door is locked, so I can't just trigger it and then move.
now fighting him doesn't waste a ridiculous amount of time, but what's the bigger problem is that to fight him, you use up a lot of missiles, and Miles needs as many missiles as he can use on the face on Elite Pirate.
Now, coming is one of the most difficult tricks in run, except not because I was fighter. So, unfortunately, you don't get to see it. But you're able to climb this room and the room coming up without actually having spider. And it's these really stupid tricks. Like, you have to, like, jump next to the spider track and get stuck next to it. And then be able to...
Yeah,
You have
Spider-Ball.
Spider-Ball. Yeah. So basically what he was starting to do there is what you would be doing, except for he has
I'm
Spider-Ball.
just talking about not having to do them, and I do them anyway.
Memory is strong.
Yeah, but those tricks are really hard.
So right here, there's a wall on the other side, except you're not supposed to be able to go through this room until through the way that he came in through. So that's why you don't see anything. You're supposed to blow up the wall using turrets.
Oh, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You really want to get rid of those pirates. Also, you hear that I just stopped the elite pirate from noticing me. If those pirates are there, they'll sometimes shoot the pirate and they'll notice me and that ruins everything.
This is what I was talking about before. As long as you don't line up your vision with the based on Elite's vision, then you can just manipulate him and make him walk around like an idiot like that.
Yeah, which makes things a lot simpler.
And you cannot fight this pirate until you have the main power bomb.
Yes, even if you got a power bomb early, it does not actually exist until you've gotten the main power bomb to change the room later.
Oh yeah, that's something important to know. That's the reason why Miles did not go through based on Mine's normal way, even though he did have power bombs already. Because, as they mentioned, even if you have power bomb expansions, you can't blow it up. And and this climb is pretty annoying.
Yes.
Oh.
No, Samus, why you do this? Hi there.
Oh, power bomb drop.
Yeah, this is one of those alignment puzzles with the spider wall tracks. You have to realign them multiple times to get up there, and it's really annoying.
And I just
I thought it was interesting casual play, but in the speedrun it takes forever.
Yeah.
It takes a really long time.
And even
I'm not
if you
sure
have
if annoying is a good word for the puzzles. I would say challenging.
Oh, I'm sorry, when you're trying to speed run.
Yes.
Miles, you wasted a power. Are you okay?
oops, what will I do about that wasted power bomb?
It's not like you're gonna get a refill soon, right? So essentially, the main part of the game is over. He has pretty much every artifact besides, I think, there's one in Chozo Ruins and one in Talon Overworld. So he's basically gonna make his way toward the Temple of Artifacts, the Artifact Temple, and get the artifacts on the way there.
Yeah, the design behind the artifacts, the idea is, of course, once you've got most of the major abilities and power-ups, the artifacts give you the ability to go through rooms and enjoy the power of having all those artifacts, or all those weapons and everything. Some people say the reach reversal is a big part of Metroid, and it's one way we wanted to do it.
Miles, do you like power bomb drops? I think you got another one.
Those, I think, are a really high chance of power bombs. Yeah, another thing is I actually found all the drop rates for every room in the game, which can be helpful sometimes to know the percentage of getting certain drops.
And drop rates vary by room, not by, well, kind of by enemy, but only per room. So like a puffer in one room will have different drop rates than a puffer in a different room.
Yeah.
I've got a $20 donation from Mist Agent. Hearing Spike Vegeta read donations is always the best part of any GDQ event. 20 for what you want, Spike. One, I agree. Yes. I am somehow more entertaining than Blind Punch Out. And two, I want to kill the animals.
Boo!
A true speedrunner.
So I'm sorry for not doing your puzzle there.
That's fine. This room was one of the more challenging ones. The vertical doors were actually really annoying because there was a lot of ways testers could get stuck in them. So there's a lot of, you might have noticed there's probably a lot of different triggers and stuff that push you to make sure you're kind of centered sometimes. Because the way that the morph ball and everything could get through the door, there's all kinds of ways that testers found to get stuck in the horizontal doors. So we had to do a bunch of tricks to make them work correctly.
Is that why in Prime 2 there are no vertical doors? Because they're really annoying to deal with? I'm pretty sure
I think that's part of the reason. It made development easier.
Honestly, I think that the vertical doors are actually a cool idea. I wish they
really
could have been
cool.
implemented.
I don't think there's any in Prime 3 either, but if I recall, I think Zoid said that most of the team in Retro that worked on Prime 1 and 2 were gone before Prime 3, something like that.
I don't remember staffing at all. I mean, we all worked together on these games. I think you have one more artifact to get, and that's it.
Yes.
And then we get to wait at the long load door.
I've got a $20 donation from Lorne. Thank you for running what is hands down one of the most immersive. Thank you for running what is hands down one of the most immersive and enjoyable games I had the pleasure of playing in my teenage years. I could get lost in the twisting level designs of Metroid Prime 1 and 2 for hours upon hours. You guys are doing great work. I have family that fought various cancers. My mother and aunt won. My grandfather and another aunt of mine lost. Give cancer a super missile in the face for me.
So for people who are interested in learning or getting better at speedrunning Prime 1 and Prime 2, or God forbid, Prime 3, there's a website we have called Metroid2002.com. You can check out you can look at the website for places to start with. A lot of the tricks are outdated and stuff, but it's a good place to start with. And you can go on the forums and ask questions and stuff about routes or help out with tricks and stuff. And the more experienced players will be there to help out. This goes for Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission as well. I think Super Metroid has their own IRC channel they use, so that they don't really use Metroid 2002.
Okay. This fight, Ridley is split into an air phase with 2000 HP and a ground phase with about 610 HP, I think. The air phase is not immune to boost ball. Boost ball does 50,000 damage for free. Okay, that's that. But yeah, once he lands, I'll be able to. Okay, I'm completely confused now.
This has never happened before?
No, it has happened before. It's just really, really good. Yeah, his path is very. Yeah.
Bye, Airface.
Yep. His health is all gone now. Unfortunately, that does not work on this phase. So I do have to fight.
But the idea was to boost through him while he was dashing.
This fight is very luck dependent, depending on what patterns he does, and if he activates a glitch where you can't damage him around. That's why sometimes you see Miles just shooting a few uncharged shots to make sure that the glitch isn't activated.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Got a $50 donation from Brad Smith. Save the animals or help Luigi get to the party. Talk about a moral conundrum. Let Blue Glass decide. Also, I love the Metroid Prime music. Keep up the good work, guys, and go home, Cancer. You're drunk.
So, coming up soon is a trick.
Luigi?
Yes, save Luigi. Coming up soon is a trick called a BSJ, which is Bomb Space Jump. And it's not really used much in Prime 1, but you're going to see, you would have seen one in the Spider Shafts if you got Thardus Dash. But basically, you do a bomb jump, and then you get an instant unmorph, and you're able to jump out of it as if you're on the ground. And essentially what happens is that the game stores your state value in like a certain variable, and for 22 frames, the first 22 frames, the morph ball goes into the air. It's the same state as Samus in human form, standing on ground. So if you get an instant unmorph within those 22 frames, you can jump as if you're on the ground. So this right here.
Well, you would have seen it. Oh.
Yay, Metroids.
And that's a backup kiddo jump.
Yeah, but it's like you can jump in the middle of the air with that trick. That's really neat.
It's not very common in Prime 1 because Prime 1 is very iffy with giving you instant unmorphs. It's a lot more versatile in Prime 2 and 3 because both games give you instant unmorphs pretty much all the time.
Now for the very, very, very random final boss. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it did.
the clip is still here.
Just yell louder.
Why is this clip so hard?
Pull it up to you.
So this final battle, of course, one of the designs behind it was to make sure that every weapon was used, and to feature the the ice spreader and the other power-ups to really make it feel like you have to use them all.
So for the first 3 rounds of the major rounds of the fight, essentially the first round Prime will go from power to wave. Second round Prime will go do in some order power, wave, ice. And in the third round, he will go from all four once each.
Yes, this right here is the reason I get the ice spreader. After an ice phase, and when he turns around, I can use it again. Oh, well, not again because I didn't use it the first time. But that lets me skip that entire wave phase. And wave and power are slow, so you definitely want to do that.
So essentially, you want to do as much damage as possible with plasma and ice because they deal the most damage to Metroid Prime. I think Metroid Prime takes double damage from ice beam as well. Whereas power and waving do very little.
That's
damage.
1.5 times.
1.5 times, okay. Especially wave, because wave beam is actually weaker than power. I think the charge shot is weaker than the power beam charge shot.
It is helpful though because wave homes in, so you'll miss power a lot more than you miss wave. This is not a time you want wave.
Yeah, like in this floor, ideally you want to have plasma, then power or wave, then ice, then power or wave.
No. Brian, why are you doing this? I actually want ice next. So. Especially now. Thank you. Okay, the first four, it's power and wave, then next is power wave ice, and the next power wave ice plasma, all one time in any order. Now it's completely random. It can do whatever it wants and change at any time. So you really want to stay, and there it goes. Like basically, ice and plasma are fast, power and wave are slow. So you want it to stay on the ice and plasma.
Well, you don't have super missiles, right?
Yeah. Power would be really great if I had super missiles, but unfortunately I don't. Yes. That's. I would have preferred plasma, but whatever.
Better than power and wave. Okay.
Nice. That was fun, right?
Okay, this right here, I do need to concentrate.
Can you get music?
Fine. Now there, by entering and exiting the pool like that, I can use a shot without actually draining the pool at all. And look, I did over half its health. So using that trick, I can potentially do the fight in two pools. We'll just have to see how the second one goes. why I want general visor right here. I'll just spoil it now and say that was not so hard. But it was still a really good run, aside from missing Thardus dash.
Well, at least we got to see the Thardus fight.
Yeah, more entertainment.
Wait, where'd you get the suit from? What is that?
I had a spare gravity suit the whole time.
Okay.
I just wasn't authorized to use it, unfortunately.
Alright, so I think a lot of people in the room put down predictions for Miles' final time and linked to the powerbomb maze.
Yes, there's only 2 times that are above 59, so good job, guys. You're gonna win this
I
one.
think there's Spike Vegeta and Conster 786.
Yeah.
Get that
We'll see who's
faith.
closer. According to the Spike Vegeta predicted 1 hour, Conster predicted 1 hour, 1 minute.
So considering we have a developer on the Skype call with us, I think it's fair to just let the credits play out. Show all the people who made this game.
Thank you. Good run.
Thanks.
Do you guys have any other questions for me while these credits roll?
Why did you have to make the powerbomb maze?
So you would have to spend time
Hey,
trying to go
David
300
Zoid
of them.
Kirsch, right there. That's him.
And as I mentioned before, the name right beside me is Mark A. Hutchison, who, of course, we lost to cancer as well. And it's awesome that you guys are doing this and supporting research for cancer.
I have a question. Who came up with the idea of these animations at the title screen at the ending?
So we worked with a wonderful concept artist called Andrew Jones, goes by the name Android, and he's one of the most amazing concept artists that I've ever worked with, and he came up with a lot of these. He did the concepts for a lot of these drive-by screens, and all the scans you see in the game is all his art. The little space pirate scan images you see.
Wow.
He's off doing art around the world. Last time I checked, he's one of the most talented people I've ever worked with. I have to say that the whole team that made this game is just an amazing experience to work with everybody there. It all pulled together. An amazing game got developed because of it.
So if you viewers go around with the Prime community and stuff, you'll notice that we sometimes talk about a Zoid that speedruns the game and a developer Zoid. They're 2 different people.
Yes.
Just FYI, they're 2 different people.
That's happened to me before. Some people sent me an email like, "Are you speedrunning your own game?" And what you worked on, and I'm like no, I don't think so.
Like the Metroid Prime player I'm talking about, a lot of the times on SDA for Metroid Prime are someone by I think Besmir Shack or something like that. And that is the MP Zoid. We kind of nicknamed it MP Zoid.
No, he had nicknamed himself MP Zoid.
Okay, he nicknamed himself MP Zoid. They're different Zoids. So, and I really like the list of special things right here under Retro Studios. We'd also like to thank.
Funny story, he actually went by the name Miles before switching to Zoid.
Well, okay, thank you very much for having me. That was really
Thank
cool.
you so much for being on here.
Thank you very much.
You guys are doing a fantastic job, and I'm amazing amount of money. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Yeah, if people are wondering who the MilesSMB is on QuakeNet, it's this laptop right here. Or unless you're wondering if Miles can type and play at the same time, because that's not unreasonable.
Okay, now to
Really
see the
not.
final time.
Monster wins the time.
Dang it. All right, well,
I won the power bomb maze. That's what matters, really.
You got exactly. I think you guessed exactly 37.
Yes.
all right, well, that was almost cool, but whatever. All right, big shout outs to Miles and everyone on the couch. That was awesome to watch. Always a pleasure. I want to thank you guys once again for just piling up donations. We've now crossed over $632,000. And I want to give you guys one little update before as they're setting up for Super Metroid. We have got, once again, Save Kill the Animals. And right now, last time I told you guys, Kill was down $1,100. Now it is up $200. Kill with $27,904, Save with $27,685, raising a total of $55,589 so far, and we haven't even started the race yet.
Are we blocking them?
With that, we're going to get set up for all the great races we've had this marathon. We have saved one of the best for last. One of the last. I don't know how many we've had after this. But everyone get ready, get pumped. We're going to send you guys to a commercial break real quick, and we'll be right back.